At a time when the Trinamool Congress is sitting in protests at the heart of the capital, protesting against CBI arrests of their MPs, it is perhaps interesting to note that the premier agency is under scrutiny. It's not just their probe of the Rose Valley scam, in which we've seen them arresting senior leaders like Shruti Bandyopadhyay. We've also seen the agency being scrutinized by the courts in the Augusta Westland scam. The courts passed strictures against the agency when it came and when it released on bail former Air Chief SP Tyagi. Perhaps at this time it is interesting to hear what the former Principal Secretary to the Delhi Chief Minister Rajendra Kumar, IAS officer, has to say. He is now applied for voluntary retirement because he says he's tired of being harassed by the government, which is using or misusing, as he says, the agency. Mr. Kumar, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV. Your letter, which you wrote asking for VRS, is very, very detailed, and it tracks your development, your career, and it makes very, very serious allegations against the CBI. I want to go through them one by one and also to tell our viewers that you've been charge sheeted by the agency. The courts are going to take up that case. We can't go into the merits of that case. We don't have the ability to do that. What we know is what the courts have said. You've been accused of giving tenders, of allowing tenders to come in, which caused an exchequer's loss of 12 crore rupees. You have, of course, denied it. The Delhi government has supported you. In a way, would you say you've been caught in the fight between Delhi government and centre, sir?
I would like to view it as a much larger issue of what a prudent and an honest and hard-working civil service officer, civil servant, should do in this country today. It's an issue of validity of institutions. It's an issue of legitimacy of the institutions on both sides. On one side, the law enforcement, and on the other side, the general civil service, which is serving this country and which is called steel frame.
It's interesting you say that, because the bureaucracy has been up in arms about several cases which they see that they're being made victims to. But I want to go into specific things. After you accused the CBI of framing you because they wanted you to name Arvind Kejriwal and get him involved in this scam that they call it, the CBI came out with its own clarification. They said that how is it that you claim that you were harassed by them, that you also say in your letter that you were physically abused, that the kind of torture and the kind of harassment that you faced is perhaps even worse than one faced by Mr. B.K. Bansal, who committed suicide and his entire family committed suicide. They say if that was true, then you would have told the court. You're a senior officer, sir. You're an IAS officer. The court has also held up so many of the other charges you said. They gave back your documents. So won't you say that the CBI has a point?
What I have written in my voluntary retirement request is that I have been abused, I have been threatened, I have been, the choicest abuses have been hurled on me. But there are many other people who have been physically beaten. I have not been beaten. I have not stated that. But there are many other people who have been very severely physically beaten, and many of them would be termed as grievous hurt, which invites a sentence of up to 3 years.
They are going to complain of that?
I cannot say about them, but I have stated if there is a proper commission of inquiry established on this issue, I think each one of them, in my case, and there are many other cases also, they would come up and they would be able to speak up before the commission of inquiry.
Okay, so sir, just to clarify, you are saying that people have been beaten because in order to get evidence against you. Now, who are these people? Are they the co-accused? Because there are 5 other co-accused with you. Are they the co-accused, which are private persons and one government officer as well?
They are co-accused also. There are many other people also who have not been named in the final charge sheet.
So why is it that they didn't tell the courtroom, especially in the co-accused case, because every time there are medical tests that are done, so why didn't they go to them?
One of them even stated in the court also, and the special judge advised him to go for mandamus in the High Court. He went to High Court also, and his submissions in that High Court petition are part of public record. Now the point is that how can a citizen, even a powerful citizen, so to say, like me, can fight the state? Is it not the responsibility of the state and the government to look into these things? Because if somebody is raising a voice against the state, then it's a very, very serious issue. I mean, the state should be, has to look into it, because somebody had had the courage to even raise it.
So you're saying, because which part were you raising a whistleblower? Which part? Why is the state doing this to you?
I think the reasons for this would be known to the state. I mean, state is a inanimate institution. So what I mean by state here is the people who run the government. They, I don't know as I said, I do not know the reason, but I think they had some political vendetta in mind, some political sidings in mind, and they wanted me to take a particular side, which I have refused. And that is the reason for such a severe thing. It's not only about CBI. Probably you would be surprised to know I have 3 criminal cases against me. A person who have always got the highest awards in the country, the best of the appreciation, has today 3 criminal cases.
Which are spin-offs of this particular case?
No, they are all separate cases. That's why I'm always using the word state, the government. CBI has done many things, but CBI is not alone. It's a much larger question. It's a much larger, I'll say, plot. And again, it's not about me. I can speak up here. I can go, I can tell the people what has happened. But what about lakhs of people who have no means to even speak up? And what about my wife, my children, my mother, my in-laws? What was their fault that such a thing has been done to me? And again, I will say, by me, it's not me, by lakhs of people like me against whom such things have been done, and they even did not had the courage or the means to raise it up.
Okay, sir. You know, you in your letter, you actually trace when it started going wrong, which you trace with your joining the Delhi government and working with Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. But I want to first come back to this very serious thing you're saying about the allegation of physical abuse, because you also mention what has become now an NHRC case and a probe inquiry. We don't know the result of that. Mr. B.K. Bansal's case, his entire family, and he was a CBI accused as well. What is interesting, what our viewers may know, is that the investigating officer in that case, another IRS officer, is Sanjeev Gautam, and he was the IO in your case as well.
Yes.
And also in B.K. Bansal's case.
Yes.
Now, sir, you're the only person who's been in CBI custody, and you are saying that B.K. Bansal was murdered. It's not suicide, it was murdered. Why do you say that?
When I say murdered, how does a murder take place? The point is that, let's say, if somebody forces me to take a knife and kill myself, in the normal legal terms, it will be called suicide. But there was immense pressure on Mr. B.K. Bansal, his son, his wife, and his daughter to take their own life. So that's why I have not called it suicide. I have called it a murder.
But sir, in their note, they say, in one of their notes, which the CBI has then released, which we also showed on our channel, they say we don't hold anyone responsible for our murder, the step that we are taking. In the other one, of course, the mother and sister say that they haven't. But of course, we know there is other note as well. How do you explain that?
I mean, ultimately, the Mr. Bansal and his son, they were the closest people to the mother and the daughter. They have said it very clearly what atrocities have been brought on these 2 honorable ladies. What more proof do we want? I mean, I fail to understand. We are looking for, let's say, what happened in my case, how people have been tortured. But when as a state, as a government, as a people, We are even today, till date, unable to even file an FIR on the issue. I am not saying investigate and then find out who has done it. But we do not have, as a people, as a government, even courage to register an FIR. FIR are registers like anything. It's a right of a citizen, any citizen, to go and say anything in front of in the police station and get a FIR registered. That is the law. Here somebody has committed suicide and given a very, very clear suicide note, which is the primary evidence and prima facie admissible in the court. What are we telling the people?
You think the NHRC inquiry is not enough?
I'm not saying about NHRC or this government or that government.
They've also removed Sanjeev Gautam.
That's again not my issue. Individuals are not my issue. Who has done it? He might have done on somebody's instruction, or he himself may be paranoid. That's not the issue. Issue is that are we as a government would like to keep such paranoid people in positions of authority and power where they can inflict immense damage to individuals? Are we doing it willingly? Are we doing it knowingly?
Did he individually also attack you that way?
No, as I have said, I have not been physically abused, but humiliation and choicest of abuses.
So you're saying an FIR should have been registered in Mr. Bansal's case?
Yes.
And
that is the law of the land. It's not my saying. That is the law of the land.
And you're saying that that was an instance of how CBI is being manipulation in that case, because Mr. Bansal was also close to the Delhi government?
No, I'm saying that, you see, the point is that how do we run the institutions? In my case, the reason could be different. Reason could be their perception of my being close to a government. But again, the question comes, what is the role of a public servant? A public servant's role is to implement the policies of the government. What wrong did I do? So far, I have spoken to many people. I have asked question. Please tell me one instance where I have done wrong.
So they say they have audio recordings on your emails, which they're presenting as evidence, which showed their exact charges, that there was already a tender there for IT systems, and you got another tender which caused the existing IT systems to become redundant, which caused a 12 crore rupees law, and that you had, it was vested interest which made you give this contract to ESPL. That is the case. We are not, qualified to say what's the thing. The courts will decide that. But that is the charge that they make against you. They, of course, say that they have audio evidence of that.
They have said things very selectively. If you scan the media news, they have even said that this house is mine. They have taken a video of the costly vehicles parked outside, which belongs to my neighbor.
This is not your house. Yeah.
Definitely, this is the government house, and costly vehicles parked outside, and they have attributed it to me. I cannot stop what people say. But let's say, I'll give away, I will not go into the merits of the case.
Yeah.
I have given contracts worth thousands of crores. Okay. And when I was power secretary, the Babana power plant, which costed 4,500 crore, which was given again on nomination basis to BHEL. Again, many other contracts. I have given contracts worth thousands of crore. It's a very common sense. If I have to earn money,
yes,
that is a much simpler way. Why would I, and particularly they are talking of IT projects, they need to go and see what we have done in education department. The softwares which we developed for pittance, that software will cost today 50 to 60 crores. We developed in 50, 60 lakhs, 12 years back. That software is still running. The schools' results improved. Today the Delhi government schools' result is better than the private schools.
And that was with the Sheila Dikshit government.
Yes, we as a public servant, government servants, we are oblivious to who is the party in power. Our job is cut out. We have taken an oath.
But so you developed a rapport with Arvind Kejriwal during when did you meet him? Were you in IIT with him? Because this has been talked a lot about, that you are IIT, he is IIT. It's a bond that has been there. And then you started working with him closely because of the IIT connection.
Now, for those who do not know, the 5 IITs exist since last 50 years.
He's in IIT Kharagpur, you're in IIT Kanpur.
Now, such simple things which people would have known. Many people tell me that I was his mentor. What stupid? I mean, people should have checked the basic facts. Where do I stand? And you are talking of rapport. I had excellent rapport with Mrs. Tila Dikshit. I had excellent rapport with Mr. Lalthan Holla, who is again the Chief Minister of Mizoram. Kindly go and ask them.
Because you were serving in Mizoram for a long time
Yes,
as well.
I was in Mizoram for 7 years.
Okay, so when did the whole thing with Arvind Kejriwal start? Did you first meet him when the 49-day government came at that time? Only then?
When they were going to form the government, I got a call from them that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal would like to meet you. I went to his home.
You never met him before?
Of course, never.
Okay.
Of course,
okay.
never.
Okay.
So then I met him at his residence and he asked me that we would like you to work with us. Are you willing? It was a very polite conversation. And of course, as a public servant, it was a way of saying, but I have no choice in my postings.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it's not like you opted to, it wasn't like a choice you made as an IAS officer and things like that. Okay. So what is interesting is that after that few months long government, which the AAP government was there, and then of course there was President's rule, you talk about a conversation you had with the LG, Najib Jung. What did he say to you? You felt at that time, in your letter you indicate, that at that time that's when the kind of targeting began, right? What happened with that LG meeting?
I was called by LG, I think just after the then government fell. And the first thing he told me that, Rajendra, lot of people tell me that you have identified yourself too closely with the Aam Aadmi Party government. Such questions cannot be answered directly. So I asked him, sir, do you also think so? He kept quiet. The point is that making accusation is very simple. Can anybody today, be it anybody, show me any evidence or just if an instance tell me where have I gone beyond my responsibilities of a public servant to favor, so to say, a public servant cannot favor a political party, but even if we take it to favor Aam Aadmi Party or any other party. I have also written there that during the President's rule, I was looking after the Urban Development Department. All the MLAs, BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, they used to come to me.
Yeah, you say that.
Yes. And they were very happy with my work.
Then what happened with the LG?
I don't know. It's a question which needs to be addressed to him.
So he just asked you a question.
Yes.
And left it at that.
Yes.
After that, there was also some show cause notice to you from the Home Ministry?
There is a very long series of that. So cause notices, 3 criminal cases, 7, 8 income tax notices. Whatever is the method available with the system, with the government, that has been done to me. Again I will say, it's not material. I will live, I will fight, I will survive. I have taken an oath to do the public service, not the normal oath, but to myself, and I will continue to do that.
You also talk about one of the ways that you feel that you're harassed is that you actually believe that the CBI would go to your house, which you've given on rent, which is giving you some kind of revenue from that CBI went and harassed your tenants and forced them to leave?
That can be best certified by the tenant himself. But
they've said that to you?
Somebody can go to my ex-tenant and ask him what happened.
They actually said that they are from CBI?
Yes.
Did they show them the iCard?
I don't know. They went to my home at Patna also. They checked my ancestral home, which my father has bought before my birth.
But so maybe they thought that what they feel is the proceeds of your ill-gotten wealth, because that's what they were saying, that that you have got money from the tenders that you awarded to people. That may have been, but to say that the CBI acted like thugs, which in this is what you're alleging, that they acted like thugs, that they went and they harassed your tenants, and now you can't even get tenants for your flat.
Not only that, they have called hundreds of people, and to each one of them they said, the property you own belongs to Rajendra Kumar. They said, what is this? Then they said, prove that the property you have got is yours. They were made to bring the intimation letters which they have given to government, the source of funding, and in the process against 2-3 people, they have even filed cases of disproportionate assets. The extent to which they have gone. But the issue is why? Why? It cannot be a very simple case of Rajendra Kumar. If he wanted, he could have earned hundreds of crores in a tender worth thousands of crores. Why would he be cornered or cornered in a few contracts, which if you see the contract which in other states have been awarded for 30-40 crore, in the VAT it has been awarded for 2.33 crore, and it was awarded by Excel and it went to Endeavour. If that is the sign of corruption, saving government money, okay, I'll say then I'm corrupt.
But do you trust the courts to get to the truth?
Trust, definitely the courts will get to the truth. There are a lot of things which are wrong in this country, but still there are some pillars which still stand. And that is the reason which I am still talking to you and to the viewers.
And is it right to say that now that you've asked for VRS, have you heard from the government at all?
No, not as of now.
So you don't know what's going to happen yet?
I don't know what is going to happen.
Is it a possibility, because if the government, you're an IAS officer, what is interesting also that I was looking at your CV, and that you've also got the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in 2008.
Yes.
Which is, the previous government was there at that time. So you're a successful IAS officer who's now facing a CBI case. Would you fight it out like that way, or would you also join the AAP party or any political party?
I have to find out the best way to serve the people in public service. Whichever means I find is the best, which fulfills my need and my zest for public service, I will do that. And yes, politics is also an option. There are NGOs, there are many other companies which give excellent service. All of them are options. I will wait for the decision of the government.
So you're not ruling out joining the Aam Aadmi
Definitely
Party?
not. I'm not ruling out joining a political party also. And yes, it could be AAP also. Yes.
It could be AAP.
Yes.
Because of the fact that you feel that you want to continue the fight, and there is a certain amount of comforts which you feel with this political establishment.
No, it's not about comfort. It's about which establishment, which path, which method would give me the best possible opportunity for public service.
Which could be Arvind Kejriwal and
which could be Congress, which could be BJP, which could be Aam Aadmi Party.
You refer to George Orwell's Animal Farm
Yes.
In your letter as well. Well, that kind of Orwellian world which you think is happening in India right now, how hopeful are you of getting justice? And do you think that the CBI will perhaps, it's something that even the IPS officer and other senior bureaucrats have always said, that it is a premier agency, it has good people. It has been called cage parrot as well. In your case, do you think that it will come out?
Firstly, the charge sheet has already been filed, so the investigations are over. Secondly, as I have said, no institution is bad. Its institution is an inanimate organization. It's the people either working in that institution or organization which make it good or bad. So I do not have a grudge against any particular institution, organization or government. But there are people who have done wrong, who want to propagate a particular ideology. That is wrong. It's a democracy.
Well, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you.